The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
God, where her mother at? Where this little girl mother at? Where they role models at? Where's the adults? That's the question we all trying to figure out.
Hello everyone, it's going to be Line back to you with another video. This video is an update as it pertains to the Corshawnda Hatter story. Before I begin, I would like to send my continued support to Miss Hatter, her children, and her family during this difficult time. According to reports, 7 juveniles, all 13 years or younger, have been charged in connection with the attack on Corshawnda Hatter, a mother, and her young child near an elementary school on Chicago's far south side in November. Video of the incident went viral, showing Corshawnda Hatter and one of her children being attacked just down the road from Orville T. Bright Elementary School in the South Deering neighborhood on November 17th, 2025. In the footage, Corshawnda Hatter and her son are seen walking as a group of students are following them and yelling at them. The children then surrounding the pair, in which they begin attacking the victims. Miss Hatter and her son are eventually thrown to the ground. The incident sparked national outrage and prompted calls for accountability from parents and community members alike. Prosecutors have since filed battery charges against 7 children, including 4 10-year-old children, an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 13-year-old. According to Chicago PD, all of the children were released from custody and referred to counseling services. Again, sending support to Miss Hatter, her children, and her family, as they are again punished for something that they did not do. They are the victims, and I feel like the system has failed them once again. After what Miss Hatter, her children, and her family experienced, the prosecutor's office only saw fit counseling? Are you freaking serious? Even though you couldn't quote unquote charge these kids, I know you could have charged these parents and they would have tightened up real quick. I hope Miss Hatter has the courage and the strength and faith to suing not only the parents of these quote unquote kids, but the school administrators and, yes, the prosecutor's office for not taking this case seriously. Had Miss Hatter been of a different race and these same kids attacked Miss Hatter, who was of a different background, and her children, they would have been punished without hesitation and been charged as juveniles with prison time. Miss Hatter has a medical condition in which she cannot control. And instead of the DA's office doing their job by punishing these children via their parents, their only option is getting counseling. What type of message is the DA's office sending to these quote unquote kids? In my eyes, this has emboldened them to attacking more adults and schoolmates in the future when there is no quote unquote accountability or responsibility in the room because the adults and system refuse to hold them accountable. Miss Hatter and her children will forever be scarred by this event because these quote-unquote kids attacked them, number one, but they recorded it. So again, they had of sound mind of what was about to take place, and not one person said stop. What are we doing? And the parents of these quote-unquote kids, I have not seen a remorse of apology other than trying to defend their kids' dangerous behavior, which leads back to my stance of Miss Hatter pressing charges against these kids' parents or filing a lawsuit. I truly believe if Miss Hatter files a lawsuit against these parents, the school administrators, the prosecutor's office, and heck, even the city of Chicago, I bet persons will wake up and realize that this type of behavior should not be tolerated on any level. When have you heard of a group of kids attacking a mother and her kids, recorded the incident, and their only punishment is counseling? What's going on? When has the system neglected its due diligence of protecting its residents in real time? What about supporting Miss Hatter and her babies? This family had to move to an undisclosed location because the incident got out of control. Community members had to step in and assist them. So why hasn't the DA's office done their due diligence in protecting this family in real time? It begs the question, had Miss Hatter been of a different race and these same kids attacked her with her babies of a different background, would we have this discussion of counseling? And we all know that answer is no. So why are we punishing Miss Hatter, her kids, and her family once again? Where is the accountability? Where is the protection? Where is a form of justice? We can no longer sit idly by and allow these quote-unquote kids to run havoc on people's lives. At some point, as the adults in the room, we have to stop condoning these dangerous behaviors, because if this is not properly sorted out, these kids will become a danger to society. And once they hit that point, we all know what happens once they reach 18 years old. They will no longer look at them as children, but treat them as adults with consequences that they may never come back from. And that is the point of this video. Where is the justice for Miss Hatter and her children? Now you will watch this brief flashback and I will be back with more commentary. The fact that these quote-unquote kids felt comfortable putting their paws on an adult and her children is disturbing to the human core. 2 years of bullying and nothing occurred until the attack of Corshawnda Hatter and her children went viral. The school administration and other officials who knew of this situation need to be held accountable, because you had time to prevent this very same incident from occurring. 2 years of Miss Hatter coming to you guys explaining that these quote unquote kids are bullying and antagonizing her child on multiple occasions. It does not give these quote unquote kids the right to bully or antagonize someone's baby because of their parents' medical condition or disability. It's just pure evil. And I hope that Miss Hatter does file charges against these parents, because it's clear that they were not doing their due diligence of their own children. Moving forward, for Miss Corshawnda Hatter, as she seeks therapy for her children, I would like for her to seek support for herself as well when she is ready, because this unfortunate event will have some form of pain if not addressed. In addition, I want the adults, again, the adults in the room to have these uneasy conversations with your children before it's too late. Protect Black women, known and unknown. Protect Black mothers, known and unknown. I will leave in the comments and description below for Miss Corshawnda Hatter's GoFundMe and other forms of support, in addition to organizations and hotlines as it pertains to mental health and forms of harming others. Sending healing energy to Miss Corshawnda Hatter, her children, her family, and community at this time. Thank you to Miss Hatter for speaking your truth, and the community for stepping up when officials failed in real time. Protect Black families, known and unknown. Justice for Corshawnda Hatter and her family. And please be safe out here, and I will see you in the next video.